10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Summer Dev Days 2021. We're really happy to have you guys with us for the next few days and looking forward to helping you finish what you started this year and seeing what you're working on. So I'm Charlotte Wu. I'm the research lead at Geekulcha, and I'll be emceeing the event. First of all, I just want to go through the agenda for this evening. There'll be a welcome from Tiani Nguyama, our COO, shortly, and then we'll have some reflections on the past year in African tech from our partners Angel Hack, then some reflections on the year in entrepreneurship and the startup world from the Business Clinic, then followed by some reflections on the year in the academic space from our partners at the Technopreneurship Center at the University of Johannesburg. Then we'll go to a short panel discussion and Q&A before the Dev Days will be declared open at 6:30. So also some house rules for the call. So please let's respect each other and please don't turn on your video. I guess this doesn't apply as we're on YouTube right now. But yeah, please do use the comments to ask questions or to save your questions for later. And also we have the hashtags SummerDevDays and Dev with Asia. So please do use those for any social media activities and to let people know what you're working on. All right, so I will now hand over to our COO, Tiani, to give you a welcome and a bit more of an overview of how the next 5 days will go.
All right, thank you for that, Charlotte, and good evening to everyone joining us from all parts of the continent, there are gigs from Uganda, shout out to you. Gigs in Kenya, shout out to you. Gigs in Nigeria, shout out to you. Gigs in Mozambique, shout out to you. Gigs in different parts of the continent. And then also here in South Africa, I know that all the provinces are represented. I saw Queenstown recently registering, and then in Limpopo, Malamlele, Giyani, Cape Town, shout out to you. Pretoria, always represented. Johannesburg, we see you on the call. We see you at SummerDevDays this weekend, and all parts of the country. But just to let everyone know your area code, just drop your area code on the chat box. So if you are from 012, just drop 012, 011, 015, 031 from all parts of the country, and shout out to you guys there in the Northern Cape, 053, 054, we see you. And 016, we also see you. Just drop that on the chat. So I will just be taking you through exactly what SummerDevDays is about and how the weekend looks basically. Next slide, Charlotte. All right, so in a nutshell, what is SummerDevDays about? So we decided to create seasonal dev days. So in all the seasons, we recognize that when a new season comes, it signals a change. It signals a change in the climate. It signals a change in how we're experiencing our livelihoods. Whether it's cold, whether it's all bright, birds are singing, and all sort of things. So we also recognize that as the seasons change, it is also a recognition that we all need to grow. We all need to then look at what is the next phase from where we are. And with the seasonal dev days, we do have summer dev days, we do have spring dev days, we do have autumn dev days, and also winter dev days as such. So the difference between the dev days is that the summer dev days is always the first one, and in summer it is all nice. It is appreciating all the efforts that we have done during the year. It is appreciating all the beauty that is in the world. And summer dev days is there to say that all the things that we have worked hard in during the year, all the things that we are passionate about, all the things that we have started, let's get to finish them. So with summer dev days, it is centered around finish what you started. So you might have started to learn Kotlin earlier in the year. You might have started to learn JavaScript earlier in the year. You might have started to learn Python, Java, PHP, machine learning, IoT, blockchain, NFTs, all these technologies. But you find that because of time, these things were pegged. So now it is time to finish what we started. And then when we look at autumn, so autumn, we put focus on data science. So autumn dev days is centered around data science. And then winter dev days, in winter we're dealing with coldness, we're braving all the things, we're feeling cold. So that's when we focus on cybersecurity. So winter is essentially a dev day centered around cybersecurity. And then spring dev days. So spring dev days, we put focus around a public sector innovation. How do we help our government? How do we help our governmental institutions to do better, to be able to increase service delivery and become more efficient? So that's essentially the story around the dev days. It is recognizing that when seasons change, it signals a fresh air, it signals a need for growth, it signals that we need to be conscious in how the smart growing world is going, and we need to be responding to it as seasons changes. So yeah, with that, Charlotte, next one. All right, so hello summer. It is summer. I know everyone is excited about this summer. You know, it's been a very tough year. COVID-19 is still with us, and we've been trying to push. Things have been difficult for many people, you know, but we're just grateful that we are still here and we can be able to say hello summer. And when we're saying hello summer, we are also signaling that we want what we have started to continue being the best. It lives in our heart. You know, some of us are married to our ideas, but how do we then ensure that we are able to change with the seasons as such? All right, and then yes, so Sisonke. In this session, well, in this festival of Summer Dev Days, we are using the Sonke platform where we'll be able to engage with each other and be able to ensure that as Summer Dev Days take place, we are able to engage and get the right kind of support. So I will be taking you through the Sonke platform just to see how it looks. Some of you are already there, but if you are not there yet, we will share the link so that you can be able to join in. Okay, so I will be sharing just shortly. Okay. It's not allowing me to share, but we'll return back to Sonke, and then we can just quickly go to the schedule. We'll show you how Sonke works later on, but in terms of the schedule, Charlotte, next slide. All right, you can go back to the previous slide, Charlotte, just with the overview. All right, so just a reminder again in terms of what Summer Dev Days is about, and also to recognize that this is made possible by Microsoft. So Summer Dev Days is powered by Microsoft, but we are working with our partners who are supporting in different capacities. We do have the business clinic in Johannesburg. In fact, we will be hearing from them this evening as well. We do have our friends at Labstar who are supporting and ensuring that from all things software development in a localized and also enabling you with platforms for development, they are supporting. And then all the way from Silicon Valley and then also Nigeria, we've got Angel Hack, who we've been working with on a number of things this year. We also have Paystack, you know, so for all your payments needs, Paystack has gotten you covered at Summer Dev Days, and in fact there is a Dev Lab session planned for that. We also have our friends at Ilarian. So they will also be engaging more with you tomorrow. And then also for your electronic components needs, we do have RS Components supporting. So for those of you who are joining in physically in Johannesburg, tomorrow you will get to work on IoT things if you need. And we also have other supporters who are not listed here as well. The Center for Public Service Innovation, we do thank them for the support in terms of guiding all things as such. And yeah, so this is a festival for developers, giving you the chance to finish what you started in 2021 and also be able to end the year on a high note. And the mentors are available to help you finish off that project or the learning that you have started. So as to the ones, it is starting today, the 3rd of December, right now at 5 p.m. And then on Tuesday, 5 p.m., we will have presentations to say that this is what we're working on throughout the year at Summer Dev Days. This is where we got into, and this is how improved the project is, because remember, your project needs to get into the hands of the users. So how do we then help you through Summer Dev Days? That is the quest for this weekend. And then it is for developers from across Africa, you know, we are working with international partners to ensure that they reach across the continent, and most importantly, how do we ensure that Africa as a continent gets to work together? So this weekend the aim is to unite as well, to unite African developers through code. So let's get to know each other, let's learn, let's connect, and be able to build. And then it is virtual, and then it will be taking place mainly through Geekulcha Sonke, and there are features there to help you be able to connect with mentors and interact throughout. And then there will be DevLab sessions. We will make sure that the schedule is also shared, so that you are able to follow through. And then for those who are attending physically, that is in Johannesburg at the Business Clinic from tomorrow 10 a.m. And Charlotte, just quickly, just to go through the schedule for the weekend. All right, we have already gone through day one. As we are starting now, we can go to the next one, Charlotte. All right, so tomorrow morning, we'll be starting off with a dev lab from Elarian, and they will be looking at all things JavaScript to make sure that you're able to build some confidence there as a developer. You can't be coding all the time and going to Google or Stack Overflow. So you need to be able to code confidently, and we hope that dev lab tomorrow morning will help you to get to that level. And then we'll also have a dev lab from a Paystack to ensure that all your payments needs are well sought after. And then we'll be doing checkups in the afternoon. So this is where the calls from the mentors from us will be placing more focus on. And then we want to have a party tomorrow evening, guys. So let's connect tomorrow at 7 p.m. Bring something to drink. So just bring something to drink, coffee, water, and let's have a party at 7 p.m. South African time tomorrow. So it will be a chance for all of us to fully connect and engage in all things tech. And then the Labster team will be assisting on a designated need because of the technology's specifications. Let's go to day 3, Charlotte, quickly. Right, so on day 3, and day 3 will be Sunday, so there will be checkups, but for the first time a progress update will be given there, so that we'll get to understand where is your team, what are you struggling, what resources do you need, and how do we connect you. Let's go to day 4. So day 4 is essentially that day to say that, in this journey, this is where we are, or where you are when working on your learning or a project. And then we'll confirm how the dev lab session will go on Monday evening, because as many of you have been asking for more of Asia learning, which is quite exciting. So we're just still trying to map out the different needs, so that we can see from Microsoft side as to how do we ensure that that dev lab accommodates everyone. All right. Day 5, this is the last day, also known as the crunch day in motion, and there will be final submission in terms of your progress, and then presentations later in the evening. And I believe that is all for now, Charlotte, from my side. Oh yes, so do join the workspace, gklink.co/sdd-sonke. That is where you need to go and create an account. But if you were taking part at the Startup Business Hackathon last weekend, you won't need to be creating an account, so you can just be switching over to the next workspace. And ladies and gentlemen, we are there, and we are here to finish what we started. I yield back to you, Charlotte. Thank you.
Great, thanks so much for that, Tiani. And now hand over to, I'd like to welcome Mr. K. Bamikboye from Angel Hack. He's the regional manager for Africa, and he's going to give us a few words on the year in African tech.
Okay. Good evening, Yanni. Hello. Yeah. Good evening from Lagos, Nigeria. How are you guys doing? Fantastic. So thank you for inviting me for this short conversation. So um, I'm supposed to talk about developers and in retrospect to events of 2021, and looking forward to what the ecosystem has to offer in the coming year. Let me just say this, that over the past 12 months, we've seen a lot of growth within the African tech ecosystem, most especially the developer ecosystem, which I am very close with. Research has shown us that we've got about 700,000 professional developers within the ecosystem. I know the number is way beyond that, but again, not to argue with the with data. But one interesting thing is that number is definitely going to go up. Even within the next 2 years, we're going to have that number going up to be maybe in maybe 300%. That's my projection. And looking at our engagement with the communities all over Africa. Of course, a brief introduction about myself. I refer to myself as a technology evangelist, and I'm so passionate about Africa. My communications conversation have been centered around how tech can be used to drive the growth in Africa, and we've actually seen that growth coming through different efforts by different startups and key ecosystem players. But today I would like to just discuss about things that I feel developers should be looking at, and if they really want to play the long-term game and they want to really be valuable in this ecosystem. So one main thing that I've seen is a lot of developers just work in their nest. They don't really go out, attend community events. And this is the time when you have to follow industry trends. I know organizations like Geekulcha, they are doing fantastic stuff in South Africa and even Africa generally. But again, as a developer, if you don't align yourself with organizations that are doing great stuff, you may likely miss out on opportunities happening around the African ecosystem. So follow the trends. Know what is happening. We all know that blockchain is big. Metaverse, all this AI. These are things that are very big on our continent today and within our ecosystem. So if you really want to play your hey game in this ecosystem, you've got to follow the industry trends. Read blogs, talk to peers within the ecosystem. And another thing I also like to say is that you need to build new capabilities if you really want to win in this ecosystem, because it's a fast-changing industry, and if you don't get abreast with the information or trends, technology changes, you may likely be left behind. So you've got to build new capabilities as a developer within this ecosystem, within the African ecosystem. Also understand where someone said follow the money. Understand where investors, venture capitalists, solution people are developing, where a lot of attention is being focused on, and try to look at how your skill as a developer or as a key player in this industry, how your skill can adapt or align with all these industry trends. Someone once asked me that, are there languages in Africa or even in the global market that are more valuable than other languages? Or are there skills that are way more valuable? Yes, there are so many programming languages, there are so many skills, capabilities that will always put you at the forefront within this ecosystem. And you see, when people are driving product development, driving new ideas, they are always looking for new faces, new ideas, and looking for people who could help them to shape on these ideas. So you want to be one of these people that everybody's looking forward to speaking with and engaging with within the African tech ecosystem. Now, another thing I want to say is that it is very, very key. I've not seen any developer that can succeed on their own, just sitting in the corner and just developing stuff without having to, learn from seniors and even juniors that have maybe cut their tooth in a particular area in tech. So community, you always get a lot of value when you belong to communities. Geekulcha have a very great community also, and I, as a community driver within Africa, I help a lot of brands to drive community engagement, and I've seen that people get access to information and even job opportunities that may not necessarily be available within the general space. So you want to get closer to communities, and having aligned yourself with these communities. One thing that I've seen that is missing within our ecosystem, most especially in Africa, is that people don't really give back to the community. So what do I mean by that? There are open source projects, global projects, and even local projects that you could also put your hands on and leave your footprint and let the world know that you, as a developer or as a solution expert, you have a value to give. So giving back and contributing to open source projects, sprints, research is a way of shining the light on yourself. And before the year runs to an end, I want every participant to look, think about how you've been able to follow the industry trends, how you've improved yourself over the past 12 months, how you've been able to leverage on communities, and how you've been able to give back and contribute to open source projects. I think if you are able to give yourself a pass mark in these 4 areas, I can say you are already aligning yourself to opportunities and even to becoming an influencer within our space. And when these things don't always bring an immediate reward, but at the end of the day, when the whole world or our ecosystem sees what you've been able to offer, how you've been able to help younger peers, and in terms of mentoring, they will definitely seek for your expertise, and that is of also expanding your career and getting yourself into greater opportunities. Lastly, before I close, I would like to tell you a story about something that I heard a couple of weeks ago about someone just trying to, while trying to build a portfolio, has been, trying to give back, trying to help a lot of people. And then at the end of the day, when an opportunity comes, you don't even know at times which one to take. And this is actually the problem that this guy eventually had. He got offer from three major tech giants, global giants, for him to come and work with them. So what I'm trying to say is that giving back would always pay off. And there's a very large gap that I have seen within our ecosystem. People don't really give back. When you call people to come and mentor young pairs, they don't really come. So I want everyone, look back and also look forward, and in the coming year, look for how you can, mentor younger developers, younger solution developers, younger UI UX engineers, and all that, and then you'll see how our ecosystem will develop further. I think I've been able to give you a tip on how you've done last month, for the past 12 months, and how you could also grow within the next 12 months. Over to you, Danny.
Oh, great. Thanks so much, Kay. That was some really great stuff. So I'll just like to quickly mention to everyone that we hope you all have a GitHub account. And if not, you can create one on github.com. And now we're going to pass over to Mr. Lucky Litelu, who's the CEO of the Business Clinic, and is going to give us some reflections on the business world. So yeah, Lucky, are you ready?
Yes, very much, Charlotte. Good.
Okay, thanks.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and good evening to the community and everybody joining us from different parts of this awesome continent. This has been an incredible year for us at the Business Clinic. Just to give a bit of context, the Business Clinic is a center for entrepreneurship, leadership, and innovation. We're based in Newtown, and we're leveraging a historical fact that Newtown actually is one of the oldest entrepreneurial playgrounds, and we are very delighted to actually be carrying on the baton in terms of really looking into how can we build a living entrepreneurial ecosystem. And to build a living entrepreneurial ecosystem, colleagues, it really takes collaboration across the different actors and stakeholders. And reflecting on the year that was, or the year that is just about to come to a close, all that we can really celebrate, is really the power of creative collaboration with all the key ecosystem players. And in particular, we want to extend our heartfelt gratitude to the team at Geekulcha for the work that they're doing, to support, our tech innovation ecosystem. I think, we are absolutely, thrilled to actually be collaborating with Geekulcha on a variety of, different, initiatives and programs that we've been able to, to do collectively this year. This year has been really incredible for us in South Africa, not only because of, just it was 2021 and all that, but it was a significant year because as a country we celebrated 27 years of freedom. Since 1994, it was 27 years exactly. And I think there are a lot of questions that we're asking ourselves as young people to say, what does this 27 years, what do the 27 years actually mean for us as entrepreneurs, as innovators within the ecosystem? As you travel around, the small towns, the townships across South Africa, you realize that youth unemployment still remains a significant challenge that needs to be addressed. And we believe collectively that entrepreneurship and entrepreneurship of all types can actually be a solution that helps our young people, to transition from being job seekers to job creators. And for us to achieve that particular mission or objective, it means for us as entrepreneurs, as innovators, all the role players within the ecosystem coming together to ensuring that we can collaborate. We as the company behind the Business Clinic, we focus primarily on 4 elements, right? One is building cross-sector partnerships for sustainable development. We focus on facilitating access to know-how and development resources, building local economies, enterprises, and livelihoods, and lastly, exploring strategies for sustainable development. Ultimately, what we want to do is to work together with stakeholders across government, civil society, and academia, and the private sector to look into how we can actually make things better. We can have better development outcomes. So as I reflect on the 27 years of freedom, I mean, we launched basically the 4i Aquatech Accelerator, really looking into how can we leverage data-driven solutions, to solve pressing water, food, energy, challenges that we face within the water, food, and energy nexus, leveraging tech in that regard. And it was lovely to see the collaboration with the partners, our partners from Geekulcha, our partners also from a private sector, public sector as well, municipalities coming together in June as we actually organized collectively our 4i Aquatech hackathon, and we zoned in this time around in looking at the province of the Eastern Cape, which actually experienced serious droughts over the last couple of years. Of course, looking into how can we solve the problems collectively. And I loved actually seeing how all municipalities came through, how the Office of the Premier as well came through to support young innovators in terms of really understanding what are the key challenges that the province actually faces and what can we do to be able to do that. What an amazing opportunity it was actually, because in June as well in South Africa, this year we're not only celebrating 27 years of freedom, but we're also celebrating 45 years since the uprising actually that took place in Soweto in 1976. So it was 45 years celebrating basically that period. But to say, what is it that we can do as young people in this year, to ensure that we can actually be part of the solutions to the challenges that government faces. And of course, it was lovely seeing the innovations that came out of that particular process. And of course, some of the young innovators in that particular process were basically invited to be in our accelerator program, and they're doing fantastic things basically within that space. It was really lovely to see that. And of course, reflecting as well, I mean, we also got to really partner up with Geekulcha as well on the app academy, really looking into how can young people be supported to develop amazing app solutions. The app academy was an amazing activity that we rolled out this year. I had the privilege really of being basically the MC for the App Academy. I learned a great deal and got to interact a lot with amazing developers. I know some of you are already on the call and you've been part of this whole process, from the beginning. Congratulations to everybody who has actually been able to finish, the App Academy, which was rolled out together with our very important partner as well, MTN there, and of course the app. The hackathon as well associated with the app of the year. It was really awesome seeing that and the growth basically of amazing solutions there, and also being able this year to partner up with MTN in terms of really raising the bar in terms of how we celebrate the young innovators. This year, as you remember, the prize money for the app of the year actually moved from 200,000 rands basically to 1 million, which is fantastic, demonstrating that as an ecosystem, we can put our mouth and our resources where basically if we say we love and we support this ecosystem, we need to ensure that we can also support it through the resources that we have. And we're very thrilled and honored to actually have been given the opportunity to partner up and assist in that regard. And congratulations basically to the young developer that actually won the app of the year, demonstrating that even you as a young developer working in remote communities, you can actually be able to overcome and win, and your solution can actually be the best solution in the country. So as I reflect as well, of course, November is always a great time. We talked about November being the November to remember. At the Business Clinic, we hosted a month-long festival called the Startup Business Festival, looking at how can we make entrepreneurship not only something that we celebrate once a year, but entrepreneurship being a culture, building that culture of entrepreneurship, where we say, let's make entrepreneurship fashionable. Let's make it also attainable. But the best way to be able to do that is really through collaboration of stakeholders across the board. We need more private sector partners, and it's lovely to see Microsoft actually weighing in and also being here, and other partners that I can see here, demonstrating, their support to the ecosystem. So it's really lovely to see that. And of course, we heard from a lot of entrepreneurs also outlining what are the key challenges that they have, what can we do as an ecosystem to collectively try to address some of those issues. Of course, COVID has been a very challenging period, for a lot of entrepreneurs and innovators, And I was very glad to see basically the hackathon as well associated with the festival, the Startup Biz Hackathon, focusing on all things entrepreneurship and innovation and creating new startups, but also looking into how can we support and create enabling environment or an enabling environment for entrepreneurs to thrive by developing solutions that can address access to markets, access to finance, access to technical skills, access to business support services. Really, I mean, just witnessing some of the solutions that came out of the hackathon over the past weekend was absolutely incredible. And of course, as we now move into the last month of the year, I'm very excited that we have the Summer Dev Days basically to really go in and zone into some of the amazing things that we've been working on. I mean, we also have some amazing stuff that we're working on that are not complete because the year has been so busy. And I hope and I trust that, in the next couple of days, we can also zone into our own digital platform that we are developing together with our partners at Geekulcha. We can see that also finalized throughout this particular process. I want to take this moment to just thank you, the innovators, to thank the partners as well, for supporting this work and ensuring that we can collectively come together to actually develop and build the Africa that we want. If one looks back in history, you realize that in the 19th century, people focus on dependencies, and it was a century of dependence, basically, where countries actually created colonies in other parts of the world. But we're seeing also in the 20th century, it was a century of independence. Everyone was talking about the independence movement. We saw it also across the continent. But now, as we are now in this 21st century, it's a 21st century of interdependence. We're seeing the development of ecosystem, and I want to echo the words of the speaker before me, who talked about leveraging the ecosystem and also ensuring that you can reciprocate within the ecosystem. There's a lot that communities such as the Geekulcha and many other communities in the broader ecosystem are doing to propel the innovators forward. I call upon you, the innovators, as well, to say this community that is actually creating these unique opportunities for you, ensure that you can also plug in and give back. Once you build that startup, look into how can you support the work that is actually taking place. Be a sponsor next time. You know what I'm saying? Be a mentor next time, and don't only be the person who's actually only drawing from the ecosystem but not giving back. Let's drive the spirit of reciprocity, moving forward to ensure that we can build a stronger ecosystem that can actually be sustainable beyond our activities. But we can actually also develop a new generation of young people who will take on the baton. When Mr. Diani and Mr. Misho and Charlotte and the team there have retired, we need to know that there is a new generation that is emerging that will continue to actually do this amazing work. With that said, I want to thank you very much and say it has been an incredible year for us, and we look forward basically to our continued collaboration and to finishing what we started. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Lucky. Lots to think about. And Geekulcha is launching something cool next year with the business clinic. So please keep connected with us on Sonke and social media to hear more about that as it gets announced. Our next speaker is Mr. Ronnie Mabel Keller, who's the head of the Technopreneurship Center at UJ. I'm just checking, is Ronnie here with us? Okay, I think Ronnie may have had some technical issues, so I think we'll just quickly go on to the panel for now. So just to introduce our panelists, we have Mr. Misho Ngoveni, whom lots of you will know. He is the CEO of Geekulcha. And we also have Mr. Mangwani Isago joining us from Botswana. He is the founder of Impact. So yeah, over to both of you. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Isago from Intech. So what I'll talk about is that I believe we are in a new technology. Yes. We are living in the beginning of a new technology revolution. In expanding that, there are things like quantum computing, which is one of the new technologies that has been developed. There are molecular computing. They're still working on developing it, I believe, in China. So Let me tell you some story. Human development over the past 2 decades has been accompanied by rapid changes in technology and increasing proliferation of digital devices and services. In many respects, this has been beneficial. Innovation has driven economic development, and I believe it will keep on improving our economies. The past and the pace of changes seems like acceleration as digitalization and advance in frontier technologies such as artificial intelligence, robotics, biotechnology, and nanotechnologies, all which could help countries achieve sustainable development goals. In the past, countries used to be in industrial revolution only, but then when some countries started like getting into technologies, that brought a huge change and in economic differentiation. But then as I have a physics background, I would like to talk more about quantum computing. Quantum computing operates by controlling behavior of electronics and particles, but in a way that completely different from normal used computers. This new kind of technologies is based on devices that is on quantum computing. I mean like both quantum entanglement, quantum teleportation, which I believe that could be our future, and learning that could change the world. Quantum computing, it uses qubits. If you know, our normal computers use is binaries, 0 and 1s, but in quantum computer we have a superposition state, which is between 0 and between 1 at the same time. I truly believe this could like change our artificial intelligence, which could bring to a full driven technology. I mean electrical vehicle technology. As in like it allows more data to be stored, and even in energy management, you could like it could help optimize our batteries to its best maximum level. Since what algorithm is that? I forgot the algorithm, but yeah. What Intech does. Intech is a research and development organization which intends to bring the individual dreamers with different skills into a one environment and help them to accomplish their dreams. We believe diversity brings together different ways of thinking and new ways of thinking about and experiencing technology. We are creating a world-class workforce and a team which conducts the researches and implementing them to build up our Africa in a new way, or say to build up our new Jerusalem. I believe that's all I have, and yeah.
So thank you, sir, for that discussion and highlighting. I think these are things of your interest, but I think maybe let's flip it a little bit and just have a discussion in terms of what you mentioned, what you spoke about. I guess one of the first questions I'd probably have for you is, do you think as young Africans, are we focusing on those things or are we limiting ourselves?
I would say, yeah, some are, but some are not. Due to like not researching more and only relying on the information that we have. That's our main limitation. But if you could like research and read more, that's where the future is. That's where developments are.
All right, we'll definitely want to open this to everybody on the chat, be it here or on YouTube. If you have any particular questions or comments regarding quantum computing, we definitely have someone who's not only knowledgeable but is very passionate about it. So please feel free to ask your questions around it, and let's get to know a little bit more. I mean, while we have you here, can you just tell us a little bit about Intech? What is Intech? What inspired you to actually start Intech?
Uh, Intech is an organization which like brings individuals with diverse skills and help them create something big. I'd say what inspired me to create Intech was I believe like the question you asked, our us limiting ourselves. We are more focused on STEM. We are more
Okay.
focusing on bring like people around STEM. Here in Botswana, science is not like taken much seriously. We only believe science is for teaching and all that. But then I saw the opportunity there, and yeah, I said with the skills I have and with my team, we could change the world.
Right. And then it's good to see that as Geekulcha, we have partnered with you guys throughout the year. But do you think there's a bigger need for organizations, cross-border organizations, to partner? And what would you say is a benefit in terms of that cross-border partnership?
Uh, I'll say yeah, I believe like partnering could like help us get reach. Uh, I mean to build Africa in a nice way. Let me give you an example. Let's say my team, like right now we have a team which is like more focusing on knowing more about quantum computing. Let's say, and we have a partner with you guys, which like you have people who have different skills there. Combining those skills, we can really make something big. I'll say again, in development of in developing devices like to get into technology like electrical vehicle technology, you require people with different skills because there is a hardware part and there is a software part, and you can tell me your team is good on the hardware part, the software part, and in other ways. So you have to like partner with different organizations for you to be able like to create something that you really want.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you with that. I think it's very important that as neighboring countries, not just as neighboring countries, but as African countries, we collaborate because there's a lot of knowledge sharing that happens. I mean, we heard from Kay, who's based in Nigeria. We are also gonna hear later on from different players in the different ecosystems, right? So I think it's very important that we collaborate with an aim of growing each other's skill sets. Because I think the more we have a stronger African continent of, skilled young people, the more we can definitely create our own things. Kay mentioned some of the things that are happening, some of the things to have a look into. So it's definitely too important to do that. And I mean, so Summer Dev Days is here. It's going to be quite an awesome few days of learning and sharing. Is there anything in particular that you are looking forward to?
I would say yes. Uh, I believe my team will be attending, and we have invited few students this side to attend too.
Nice.
So I believe I will learn a lot from you guys and from what you guys are doing.
No, but we'll definitely also learn from you guys because that's the beauty of Summer Dev Days. It's all about sharing knowledge. It's all about finishing what you started. And also keen to know, is there anything particular that you started this year that you haven't yet finished that you might be looking
Yeah.
to finish?
Yeah, there is something that we are currently working on it, and it's very tiring. Basically, we are trying to create a device, an independent IoT device, which uses solar which uses solar, is an hybrid power system. So yeah, we are working on like finishing it, and it's so tiring. And I believe we'll be attending this just to learn more, and you guys could help us like finish it. Cause yeah, it's been 3 months now.
Well, I'd like to believe that you and your team are definitely in the right company. There's gonna be different skill sets that will be coming through from Summer Dev Days. So definitely, if you spot someone that could assist, please do raise your hand. But also at the same time, I think a lot of people will gain a lot from what you have to share in terms of knowledge. Now, for someone who has been struggling to finish a project, how would you go about advising them to, uh, you know, keeping on, keep on trying to work on that project? I mean, we are right at the end of the year. The energy levels are a bit low, but here's an opportunity through Summer Dev Days. How would you encourage them to keep on going?
I would say motivation is not enough.
Motivation is
Uh,
not enough.
yeah, motivation is not enough. The thing is the dream, is the end goal. What do you wanna achieve after? What do you wanna achieve after you finish your product? Uh, that's what I could say. Cause yeah, finishing a product is very very hard. I know, and when you get to like the finishing part, that's where the hardness becomes. That's where the intensity becomes. So don't lose hope. Just remind yourself of the end goal.
Remind yourself of the end goal. Remind yourself of why you started. And I think that's a great takeaway to everybody that will be taking part in Summer Dev Days. It's very important to remind yourself of why you started that project, why you opened that GitHub account, why you created that CV, that portfolio, that particular project that has been sitting there. It's very important just to go back and reflect there. Any last parting words to?
All right, sorry, Misha. I just want to quickly bring in Mr. Ditetu and also Kay. You know, someone has been working on a product. You know, they got motivated during the year. You know, as a small business in Africa, as a small business that is trying to shape up, what are the mechanisms and how does one find the use to be able to ensure that they are able to build a product that goes into the hands of the users?
All right, thank you, T, for that. Mr. Lucky, Mr. K, we have a mixture of devs, we have a mixture of entrepreneurs. So, as the question asked, how do they still get determined to carry on through these challenging times?
Thank you, Misha, if I may come in.
Yes, please.
I think definitely the advice from our previous speaker is absolutely on point. It's spot on. I think at the end of the day is really beginning with the end in mind. Right? So you got to have a vision for what you want to do or what you're working on. Because with a strong vision, you'll be able to, overcome the difficulties that come with basically the journey. Because you must know where you're going. You must know where the destination. What is your destination? Where are you going? And I usually talk about the 6 V's that you need to embrace as a startup, as a developer, as a person working on a vision or trying to achieve something. Right. So one is the vision. It must be very clear. You must have specific values actually associated with achieving that particular vision. If you value sustainability and so forth, so the values, your values actually have to be clear. You must understand what is important to you, and because it will allow you to actually be able to prioritize your time in your journey towards achieving what you want to achieve. Virtues as well, which I describe basically as lived if we get to experience your values, we experience them. If you value hard work, determined, hard work, we will see it basically through what you do on a day-to-day basis. So I talk about vision. You need to identify your values. You need to identify your virtues as well, which are lived values. You need to also look into, who will be the people that are going to be journeying with you. So those are the venturers. So the venturers are people that are going to work with you, because to achieve a worthwhile goal or mission, you need to actually have people that you're journeying with. So we're moving away from doing things in silos or doing things alone, but looking into who can I collaborate with in terms of really looking into the vision that I'm looking at. Do we have the same value systems? Do we value the same things? Because if you have same values, you'll actually be able to collaborate more effectively. And the next part is what you call voyages. Voyages is about really when you travel, you need to actually understand where are you going to the map. You know what I'm saying? To say I'm going from point A to point B. What do I need to do? I need to understand where I'm going. I need to determine where I'm going. And then, of course, we need to look into the vehicles. What are the vehicles that I'm going to use to actually get to my goal or vision, to achieve that particular vision or and goal that I have? So with these, I think it helps us to actually understand that without vision, then it's to be very difficult, because it will be just an activity that is not driven by something very deep. So I'm definitely in support of that vision, but also looking into having people to journey this, journey with.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for sharing those V's. I hope you guys took note of those different V's. They're very quite important in helping you keep working on your solution. Okay. Is Kay still here? All right. If there's anyone who wants to comment or add, we still got the different speakers here. If you want to ask them any particular question related to what they spoke about, please raise your hand or unmute so we can allow you to speak. And if you are on YouTube, please just write the question there, and then the team will be able to pick it up and we'll raise it to the panel. We know who that one is definitely for. What are the different applications of quantum physics?
It could be applied on cybersecurity, better battery, traffic optimization, artificial intelligence. But the one I love most is fintech and also agriculture.
Okay. Do you mind giving us a more of a practical example of the application on any of those?
So let me talk about. So we once worked on some project was on optimization in agriculture. So what it was like you have four hectares. So and you have like 3 different crops. So how could you use that land for its maximum level to be able to plant all this? So we applied some math, but it was based on like optimization. Then yeah, that was the main application of it. But also in fintech. But then the thing is, right now with quantum computing, these guys are still like seeing its capability and exploring its algorithms. So yeah, the thing is, and every day it keeps on improving. It keeps on like showing different ways of doing things. So yeah.
All right, thanks for that. So if I'm someone who's interested in venturing into quantum computing, is there any particular skill set? Where do I start? It sounds like, you need to be like a super genius type of thing, you know? How do I go about starting?
They use Qiskit. Qiskit is basically similar to Python.
Okay, so I need to. Yeah, please go ahead.
So yeah, and the thing is with us, we are learning the math behind, but then you have to like have some basic linear algebraic mathematics skills, but then that's nothing. That's really nothing. So no, that's nothing. If you could code, that's nothing. So and also I believe IBM is providing the books for free, and also is it one computing, and also there's some books I could like share with you guys. If you are really interested, I could share the books with you guys, and I could like help you learn more on it.
All right. So anyone who's interested, please reach out to Mr. Isahu. He will be able to help guide you and probably share also some Microsoft Azure material as well to help you move into that direction. Do we have any questions in the background? I'm not able to see if there's any questions. All right, so someone is asking how can they keep updated with the hackathon? Oh, with hackathons in general. All right, so for anyone who wants to know what's happening in the hackathon space and to keep up to date, the easiest thing to do is to follow Geekulcha. We do share quite a lot on social media in terms of the different various hackathons. They are different. The hackathons focused on fintech. Last week we focused quite a lot on business. So there's variety. It's all about your interest. So do follow Geekulcha on social media. And now with the Sonke platform, you will soon be able to have all the updates as they come, and you'll be part of the Sonke Geekulcha community, and you'll be able to keep track of what's going on. So as T and Charlotte mentioned earlier on, please stay on the platform. That is going to be our platform going forward in terms of communication, activities, and regular updates of what's going on. But I do have to share some insights into hackathons. Hackathons come in different forms. It's not just always about winning. Winning, yes, is great, but attend hackathons, take part in hackathons to network with other people, take part in hackathons, as Kay mentioned, to be part of a community, to contribute to a community, to contribute to a project. So there's various reasons why you would want to take part in a hackathon, and don't just be focused on the prize money, because you might not always win, and it might potentially discourage you. But look on the other side in terms of I am there to learn, I'm there to connect, and potentially you never know, your next employee might actually be there, so it becomes an opportunity to be closer in the room with them. So I hope that answers your questions with regards to hackathons, how to get updates on hackathons, but also just a little bit of extra in terms of why you should consider taking part in hackathons. Mr. Lucky, you have seen, I'm pretty sure this year was your year where you got involved in a lot of hackathons. What is some of the key takeaways that you saw or witnessed during hackathons, but also areas where you feel teams, individuals can also improve on?
Super. Thank you very much, Mish. I think the biggest take home of really looking at the various hackathons this year that any individual or team can actually extract is really the ability to learn, because you get to experiment over a certain time period with different tools and learn how to use different tools, but also get to connect with other stakeholders within the broader ecosystem. So I think it's a great learning platform for young innovators. I think in this environment that we're finding ourselves living in, it's absolutely important to actually put lifelong learning at the center of what we do, because there are things, the environment has shifted quite extensively whether you are a startup, even big businesses have found themselves ill prepared to actually thrive in this period that most people have actually called chaos, where you don't know what actually tomorrow is going to look like and so forth. So the ability to learn, the ability to unlearn, and the ability to relearn is basically one of the key tools that I feel a hackathon environment can also offer. But the beauty as well is collaboration, the ability to collaborate, because sometimes we always talk about collaboration as if it's something that people know how to do. You know what I'm saying? We talk about collaborate and all kinds of stuff. And we've seen, marriages breaking down and a number of things across the board. I think hackathons are a great opportunity to actually get to establish teams and also build rapport with other developers who can potentially be your co-founders tomorrow. You might work with a certain group of people for a particular hackathon. It's a lovely space because things are not as formal as they are in a sort of registered startup, where now you're moving with co-founders. So you can get to experiment and see what you can do collectively. So going through all of those different kinds of platforms allows you a safe environment, to collaborate and learn how to collaborate effectively. One of the biggest challenges, of course, is that in teams, we've seen people come with different skill sets. And at the same time, some find that they might be more technical in terms of how they approach things. Others could actually be good at presenting and so forth. So what I would really emphasize is really being able to identify your strong suits, as you usually say, and leveraging on that. Whoever is actually really fantastic at selling ideas, let them do that. Whoever is actually good at putting at coding specific things, let them do that. So I think it's really just identifying the skill sets that are required and being able to actually collaborate more effectively and not hold back. Because some people hold back because they get a bit intimidated by the people that they're working with, basically within the group, and as such, it becomes very difficult to to collaborate. So with that, I would say use the hackathons as a safe environment to get things done, but at the same time improve your own skills and ensure that you can potentially meet some people that you work with for the longest of time.
Awesome. That's great insights, great feedback. Thanks for that, Mr. Lucky. I hope you guys heard that for your future hackathons, but those are things that you can also still apply within Summer Dev Days. All right. Thank you guys for this session. Mr. Isako, thank you for your time. I would like to hand over back to Mr. T, who will just do some bit of closing words for us.
All right, thank you so much for that, colleagues. Yeah, it's been quite insightful in terms of how the year has been, and also the different things to look out for in terms of developing one's solutions as such. So yeah, we are now starting to get closer towards getting to really focus on finishing what we started, and there's no better time for that to be able to then say that we are still passionate about what we have worked on. We still want to see this at the hands of the users and be able to put in the work for it. So just hold on, I'm going to be sharing. Okay. All right. So many of you are still having questions on the Sonke platform, so we can answer those questions basically, and keep on asking those questions, and we'll be able to answer and also get you the different kinds of accordingly. So as I mentioned earlier, the Sonke platform is what we'll be using for the hackathon. Oh, sorry, not a hackathon. This is not a hackathon. Let's be clear on that. This is not a hackathon. It's a festival of ideas. It's a festival of ensuring that we are setting things in motion. It is a summer dev days. Let's have fun through it, because summer is all about fun. It's all about the good times. It's all about the vibes. In South Africa we say that December. So it is December, and let's build all the fun stuff. But then just quickly to then answer some of the questions. Good evening. What skill set would one need if you were to pursue a career in data science? So to get started in data science, you do need to focus on different things. Mathematics is actually quite important. So just revise your mathematics. It will be a good advantage if you're coming from a statistics point, but it's just good to keep mathematics on top of the mind. But doesn't mean that you can't go on to a journey in data science even if you do not have mathematics as such. But there are so many libraries that can help you to get started in terms of understanding data, because above all you need to then understand that. And then it also depends, do you want to learn on your own, or do you want to go to an institution? So if you want to go to an institution, there are a number of academies, including Data Science Explore, that focus strictly on data. I know that they've got a campus in Johannesburg, in Cape Town, and also in Durban recently, there by Umhlanga. Actually, yes, in Umhlanga. And there are other institutions where you can also get to learn data science skills and be able to grow. But for a self-taught, it's good to get started with Python in particular. So Python is great for data science as such, but if you're learning alone, you might want to also look at the basics. But I would recommend that have a look at Microsoft Azure Data Studio, because there you can then just get to grasp the key concepts. And the aim of this drive as well is to make sure that you learn towards certification with Microsoft Azure. So we'll be taking you through that as such. Then someone is asking, can you please help me with AZ104 study material, DAMS especially, because completed Microsoft Ignite Challenge. I think Lebu is still watching here, but we will make sure that we get you that those resources for your needs. And we're delighted to hear that you enjoyed that concept. And yeah, so let's keep learning and learn towards certification with Microsoft Azure. There are different qualifications, but data science is definitely one that we are pushing for, that let's go towards the data science. But then also the database administration, working with databases, that is quite crucial, and then also how do you leverage on the power of Azure to be able to make sure that your applications are able to be hosted effectively, they are scalable, because you must always be thinking of scale, and they are backed by different services that Azure has. So you'll also get to learn more through Summer Dev Days. But yeah, this is Sonke. So for those of you who might be familiar with Slack, it works quite similar. But yeah, there are a couple of differences, obviously, and then you can check out the announcements channel. So all the key information will be posted here in this channel. For networking, do introduce yourself on the networking channel to say this is who you are, this is where you're coming from, this is what you do. And we also urge that you post your GitHub repo here on the networking channel, just to show others what you have done. Most of the resources will be putting them on the resources channel. And then entertainment as well, we'll be going through some entertainment things, So if you have got a song that is making you build faster, getting you in the coding mood, do post it on the entertainment channel. But if you do not have these channels with you, you can just simply go to the plus sign, and then on the plus sign you can just click on browse channels to be able to see see those channels. But the beauty of this is that if you are having a session with a mentor, you just create a call with a click of a button. So you can create a call here, and then the other person can join that call, and then we get to interact as such. And then you can inbox anyone here on the SummerDevDays workspace. So you can search someone. Let's say maybe we wanted to chat to Lizette, for an example. We can do that, or you can even chat with multiple people as such, and just simply add them to a conversation, and then once so just make use of the different tools that are available here. You can also create boards, to make sure that you're able to track your project effectively. So just wait for it to load. My network is also not very nice today, but you can essentially create boards. You can create a board from a template, or a board to track tasks and things like that. And then to return, just click on channels, and then and then also you can set your status there as you saw the notification. So you can set a status to say, if you are coding, you can set that status so that everyone knows what you are doing right now. And then I want to put an icon that resembles my mood if I'm coding, and then I've set my status like that. So whenever my name appears anywhere, you'll just see that I am coding until today. And you can use polls as well if your team wanted to be doing something. So you can just simply type poll and then type a question, and then options as such. But one of my favorite things is having to send a to-do to someone. So you can just type to-do and then send, and then if I can send this to-do to Misho, and then maybe just tell him check your inbox, and then that to-do has been sent to Misho, and Misho will either accept this to-do or reject it. But you can essentially just see all the to-dos that you have here, so that you are able to keep track of the work that you are doing. But yeah, that's essentially Sonke on a high level. Do introduce yourself, and let's engage. And there will be a lot of engagement. So we'll post the weekend schedule in here. And with that, let's get to the journey of finishing off our projects, and we shall be connecting again from tomorrow with the session from Ilarian, and there you also get to get some confidence building around JavaScript, being able to build solutions with great architectures. And with that, I thank you. We can close this session for now.